Today I've been checking out Frontline Crisis, which is out now for £4.99 on Steam. So what is Frontline Crisis? Well, it's a mashup of a base builder and a tower defense game. You control a mech tank, you use it to dig, activate special tiles and build structures to hold off waves of enemies until the boss comes and you need to kill it. Mostly as long as you survive as the mech, you pass the mission, but there are a few variations. Your base is kinda expendable most of the time. As you progress through the missions, you earn new structures, operators, which allow you to expand your build areas, and other upgrades. It's a little hard to explain how the tile system works, but basically you set it up before the mission starts. So there is some strategy here, and it also means once you're in game, you have one less thing to worry about. So your operators have like a certain amount of tiles attributed to them. It looks like a Tetris block, you know, like some might be 3, some might be 3 and then a left and 3 and a right. You have a set build area on each map and you place the Tetris blocks into that build area. Just like Tetris, you can rotate them and try and make everything fit in your given area. Then you select the buildings you want on each tile. There are various building types. Placement really matters as you can chain together for bonuses. What is really nice though is once you've made your design, you can save it and then on the next mission you can load it back in without having to set it all up again. You can also buy more tiles and upgrade your operators from inside the planning screen. There's a good amount of variety in the buildings. They all kind of do something a little bit different. There's defensive turrets, resource gatherers, upgrade buildings. There's some that build consumable special weapons. You can also spawn AI to help you out. On top of that, you can also combine them to create like superstructures, which like have special effects. Like one of them gives you a battleship or one that might fully upgrade your tank's passive abilities. Once in the game, the gameplay loop is pretty simple to understand. You'll have the little map. The usual objective is to kill the boss enemy. You drill around to collect resources. When you collect enough, you can start building your buildings while killing the enemies. You know, prioritizing what you're going to build is quite important. You want to get the collector down first normally, or a defensive building. Most of the buildings do work on their own, but there are some like defensive turrets where you have to sit on them to make them fire quicker. Moving on to the enemies, there's a really good amount of variation, plus boss types, and they all do different attacks. Some might disable buildings with like parasites, projectiles, or there's flying units as well. When killing them, you collect little tokens, which are then used for upgrades outside the mission. You can also get special drops and abilities, plus find wreckage, which contains new operators. As I said, you have to protect your base, but the main thing generally is that your tank survives. At the end of each mission, you'll usually be rewarded with some new buildings and power-ups. There's a great sense of progression, and it never felt too grindy. On top of all this, there's an endless mode. There are side missions and little mini games you can play to earn further upgrades and unlocks. However, I did find the signal side missions to be a little bit annoying. Moving on to graphics and sound, obviously it's a little bit basic, and for that price you'd expect that, but it's not an issue at all. I thought the graphics looked nice, they had a bit of a charm to them, and sound was basic but decent. So in conclusion, for $5, I really don't know what more you could ask for. It's fun, engaging, great gameplay loop, it wasn't grindy, and it didn't outstay its welcome. You've got a good solid 8 to 10 hours here if you want to complete everything. It offers a nice balance of strategy and decision making too. This is one of these prime examples of a game that knows what it wants to be and just smashed it out of the park. Anyway guys, that's all I've got to say on this one. I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.